All right. I'd like us to do that one more time. I first want to start on this note. I want to appreciate God Almighty for making this occasion possible. I believe there are some schools here that since we've started this Future Leaders Summit, you've started with us. Do we probably have one or two students that are the first edition? Future Leaders Summit 1, you are there. Summit 2. All right. Let me see your hands. Feel free. So let's put our hands together for them. Now, the reason why I was asking for such people is this. There's a culture that we have. We call it the attitude of gratitude. So I want to start on that note. I would like each and every one of us to stand to our feet, especially all the students. All the students, let's start to our feet. Want to show our attitude of gratitude. Remember, I once told us that there are many young people of your age that wish they were in school, but for whatever reason, they are unable to make it to be students like you and like you. Some, due to the fact that their parents couldn't afford it, not that they don't have the brain to be in school, but their parents can't just afford the little amount you are paying for your school fees or for whatever you are paying for. Some, their parents have the money, but they have some serious health challenge that will not make them to be in school. And we have some that they even started, but for whatever reason, they are no longer students. They are even buried because they are dead. So we want to appreciate God who has made it possible for you to be a student. So put your hands together for God. Just clap to him. Yes, after God, we need to appreciate our parents who have been taking care of us from the moment God has put us in their womb. And our first day on earth. And here we are at this age as students in secondary schools. Do you know that if your parents have not been taking care of you, many of you will have dropped out of secondary school? They may not be here, but I believe that when you appreciate them, something will tell them that they are children and do that somewhere. Put your hands together for your parents. Still, in the attitude of gratitude, I like us to appreciate those that are in our schools. They are the one teaching us how to speak the correct English. They are the one teaching us how to add 1 plus 2. You know who I'm talking about? Your teachers. Starting from the principal, the vice principal, and all the teachers that have been taking care of us while we are in school. Let's put our hands together for them as well. Before you put your hands together for yourself, we do one more. Redeemers University have been our hosts for about 3 years that we have started this Future Leaders Summit. For your information, they've not been collecting anything from us in using this venue, either for anything. It's free. So I want to thank the management of Redeemers University for making this place free for our use every year. So let's put our hands together for Redeemers University. And finally, there's a culture, there's a saying in Yoruba land where I come from. They said, if you don't praise me, I will praise myself. So I'd like you to put your hands together for yourself. I expect you to do it better. All right. So thank you. I appreciate you for coming. Sit down. I want to specially acknowledge and appreciate the presence of some of the faculty members of the Redefined Education Endowment Foundation, which is known as 3 funds that are in the house. Dr. Julius Adioye. So let's put our hands together for him. Mr. Lekolo Alogbon. And I want to believe that by now, Ibukun Bello is now a faculty member in 3 funds. So let's put our hands together for her too. Really, 3 funds or that Redefine Education Endowment Foundation is more than just the people you are seeing here. But it's a busy period for us in Redeemers University. So we have many of our faculty members that will just be coming in and going out. They are very busy with some very important assignments in their various offices. And beyond that, we still have some of our faculty members that are not residents, either in Ede or some that are not even resident in Nigeria. So we have them all over. But they are with us as we are in this place. So we're appreciating them for working with us, making trade funds to have the success it has recorded thus far. I want to especially appreciate one of our great supporters, Mrs. Adebayo. She was the one that took the opening prayer. So, madam, we appreciate you. Now, going to the business. In the first edition of the Future Leaders Summit, we discussed a topic that is called Stand Out. Stand Out on its own is just one of the outreaches. As a matter of fact, that is the name we give to our outreaches to secondary school. Stand Out. When we started trade funds, one of the first things that we were doing was we were going from secondary schools to the other. And with that stand out. And what was Stand Out about? Stand Out was about inspiring and encouraging the young people of your age to understand the importance of education, to cultivate the reading culture, and to also learn to put on good conduct and good character as you are going through your educational program. So on on the first edition of Future Leaders Summit, the theme there was Stand Out. The second edition was Be Outstanding. Interestingly, we have one of the speakers in the second edition that is still going to speak to us this morning. Be Outstanding. In the story of the Outstanding, we came with 4 young people that were outstanding when they were at your age and even when they moved to the university. So, and we brought them as life testimonies to tell us their story, to share with us what we needed to do to be outstanding. But this year, we are looking at a very important topic that is titled Enhance Your Talent and Be Educated. There are so many discussions about talent and education. And because of the part of the world where we are, many of us believe that education and talent are miles apart. That there's no connect, there's no connection, there's nothing that connects education and talents together. But we fail to understand something, that when we talk of talent, talent is only talking about what you are naturally endowed to do. What is like to you a natural ability that you can do better than the other people. And you see people that are singing, we know those that are footballers. But because that is what is our definition of talent, many of us don't really understand that it's also talent for you to be able to grasp mathematics faster and better than the other people. And also, we don't even understand that when you pursue an education in the line of what you call your talent or what you call your natural ability, it will make you to be better, one. It will also make you to know, right from when you are doing your study as a student, what line of career you can follow. I'll tell you a story as we are about starting. While I was growing up, naturally, I knew I have this grace of being able to act, do drama. At times, I will write story. At times, I will act. At times, I could remember, I also noticed that I could stand before people and talk to them and convince them to do what I actually want them to do. I remember when I was young in primary school, I didn't know I've forgotten the story, but I remember that I mobilized my class. Probably were in primary 3 then. I mobilized them to go and have a fight with primary 4. And I couldn't remember what actually happened, and I succeeded in mobilizing a whole class, and we moved to fight against primary 4. That is a grace, a gift. But when people like us were growing up, we didn't have people to let us know that when you understand what is your natural ability, what is your talent, there could be an educational program that you can easily fit into. And when you fit into such an educational program, as you are living, you already know where you fit into in the society. But what do we have today? Because we have so many of us that went through the university education, we just went because we know people are going to the university. We pursue a course that we feel that, well, that's the only available course that I can take. Let me just pick it. And by the time we are leaving the university, because there's something in us that is telling you that this is what you can do, but you have made yourself to be exposed to a training that is totally different from what you have the natural ability to do. So when you're out of the system, you don't even know, you don't even have direction. And that's why at times you find yourself saying, okay, let me pick this job. You do that job for 1 month or 2 months, there's something in you that is not satisfied with that job. You resign, you look for another one. But you realize that for people that are pursuing their career in the area of their natural ability, it doesn't look to them like a job. It looks to them like an hobby. It looks to them like fun. And they are engaged in it, and they are making their money. And we've discovered that if people apply their natural ability to whatever career or job they are doing, it's easier for them to build the society that way than rather trying to do a job that has nothing to do with their natural ability. So we know at your age, you are still in, probably we have some of you that are in GSS class, we have some of you that are in SS classes. You are not yet in the university, but we want you to be informed about how you can connect your natural ability to the next course of study you are going to pick when you are entering the university. So that as you are leaving the university, without being told, you already know what line of job you are going to apply yourself into. So this morning, we have speakers that will be talking to us. We have with us Dr. Julius Adedeji. Dr. Julius Adedeji is an international speaker by our standard. He's a man that was trained in 2 great universities, University of Ibadan and the University of Leiden in the Netherlands. He's an expert in drama and media criticism, and is going to be the one that will be addressing this topic. So I'd like you to pay attention, listen to him at the right time when he's going to be invited to speak to us. Then after that, because what we are talking about, when we are talking about natural ability, talent, we are moving ourselves towards what we call the personality types. And that is an area in psychology. So good enough, we have among us one of the best speakers you can find around. For some of you that were around last year, you have witnessed her addressing us. So she's going to be addressing a very important topic that will make us to see some psychological reason behind what we are talking about this morning. And in between, we have some little short clips here and there. At some point, I'm still going to come back to talk to you about the story of trees, and you're going to find it interesting. I'll be watching 1 or 2 short video clips that will make us to understand the importance of education better. May I tell you, my friends, that many of us, it took us years before we could settle down. Why? Because we were unable to connect our natural ability to the academic pursuit that we had and to the career we were chasing. May I tell you that when I finished my university years, I was in the valley of confusion, because there was something in me that is pushing me to do something which is totally different from the academic training that I had. So I find it difficult to conclude whether I should do things on my own or I should look for a regular job. But it will be easier for you if you connect your academic training to your area of talent, to your area of gifting. So this morning, I welcome you once again to this Future Leaders Summit 3. Enhance your talents and be educated. You can be educated in the lines of your talents. Talent is not just all about dancing. Dancing is part of talent. Singing, talent is not just all about singing. Singing is part of talent. But even when you want to dance or sing, you can still connect it to the kind of education you want to pursue. In advanced nation, you have different institutes that address different areas of talent and gifts. But we are getting there in this part of the world. But before then, we are trying to make you to understand what to do when you are taking your next decision. So thank you for coming. We appreciate you. And for those that are just arriving, let's put our hands together for them. So thank you. So have a lovely Future Leaders Summit.